Where's an incentive applied in a contemporary goal of mine? This summer I got mad enough to just push myself, let's see, a few more meters in a run means a lot. And you can check out the example in the video. It's a few ones back. It's beating a car. Now, I started in the springtime, and I was always about a few meters behind every time I shot to beat a car. And then I kept going, and by the end of the summer, somebody who I was, kind of mutual inspiring, they pissed me off, and it actually forced me to run even faster. And that's a small example. Is you can use something that might be negative and turn it into a positive, or you might be self-conscious of something and not even realize it can actually be a strength somewhere. The human being is pretty interesting. You can be as a machine, or your mind can always readjust. There's always something to learn. Especially if people are on opposite spectrums of things. I've found when they stop clashing, or that clashing period stops, they start inspiring. And that's really interesting. There's always something you can learn from another. I don't know. Human potential is a very interesting thing. Very, kind of not all about that, but I'm sure some people are. But in a realistic way. You have to test that parameter and then see if it can be forced even further. But yeah, guys, look for those negatives that, maybe I'll do another video on that. It's more of psychology. It's not sports. But look for your negative and turn it into a strength. It might take time. It might take another person to point it out, or it might even take so many reasons. If another person gets their way over you, you might realize where you got a mistake of complacency. So, not about winning, but about a newfound strength. All right, guys, keep challenging. came from that person who started the problem, maybe in the first place. But also, I could give credit to that because it goes to show two things. If it weren't for that person, I wouldn't have fixed something and been more determined. So that's a good thing. And the second thing means you shouldn't necessarily listen to another person's advice when you already have a focused, specific thing. Which means, the third thing, when you are pure focus, means zero tangents. But that's pure focus, right? Tangents happen, let's just call those breaks. But if you are so focused on one thing that that's what everyone sees as well, and that's what you want, and that's what they want, and everyone benefits from that, then don't do any tangents at all, right? So, forget about perfectionism, forget about always hitting your mark. And, no, always hitting your mark is a good thing. And so those people can learn from who's taking away from your marks, who's taking away from your time, who's taking away from your goals. And it might not be a distraction, it might be a deliberate foot in the way, a block, a stone block in your path, an invisible one. It's actually just a mental barrier. They deliberately set up, and then it's just the mind. It's not like physically what you've achieved or done. So really what's going on here? Reassess it and be like, yeah, I don't permit that. Or in a free-spirited way rather than headstrongly. If they want to make use of your headstrong and you clash into them, that's more of a time waste, more of an effort waste. And you could have used that determination and force of will for something you could have achieved. Alright guys, challenge yourself.